So let's do it.
Loki.
We're going to kind of go through episode by episode some key moments
Right.
in each episode and just, kind of just talk about the show.
Before we go into any type of spoilers, let's kind of just give a brief rundown of the show itself without giving away any key details and elements of the story.
Sure.
So basically we have, continuing from what we saw in Endgame.
Picks up right when he picks it up and bamps out.
They even show you
boom,
that. They even show you a quick little edited version of that and give you a bit of a catch-up.
And bamps into...
He bamps into a whole world of shit that he was not expecting. He goes on a massive roller coaster ride of new information, and he meets new people along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out new things about his character throughout this whole thing.
And we find out new things about just about everything. So I think that's about as non-spoilers as we can get.
I mean, I'm even putting in the description below that we're not going to be having much in the ways of non-spoilers. It's kind of hard to talk about this entire show and not spoil anything about it.
So much to unpack. Man, this is great. Let's do it, man.
Overall, did you enjoy the show?
Not really, no.
No? Okay. Well, then let's just go ahead and skip to the end.
Loki was so good. Loki was my favorite of the show so far, as I knew it would be. And
Mine
in
too.
fact, it's one of my favorite just entities in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now. I wanted this to be a movie. Loki could have had his own movie, and they could have expanded on this and would have been just as good. But to break it down into a 6-part little show was also just as good. So,
right.
I super enjoyed it. How about you?
It's definitely my number one when it comes to the 3 shows that have been released so far. I was fighting over between which would be second when it comes to Falcon and WandaVision. Falcon came in second for me, and WandaVision third.
And I'll admit, Falcon Winter Soldier was always going to be second just because I'm biased because of how it plays out, of course. But
right.
So I was always going to be second. So.
Yeah. So that one definitely came in second for me. But this one was so fun. I've had so many people tell me that it's basically just the Marvel's Doctor Who, and I don't watch Doctor Who, which again we probably lost a lot of people. But
I'll save it. Everybody, wait before you turn off. My lovely lady, who I mentioned a little bit in the last episode, Kayla, she is one of the biggest Doctor Who fans that you'll ever meet. So I know just enough about Doctor Who to stay in the conversation. In fact, I'll give you a little connective tissue here. The wonderful lady who plays Gamora's sister is an actress named Karen Gilliam. She ends up being one of the what they call companions of Doctor Who. So she is a Doctor Who alum.
Oh.
Yeah, she is the companion to Matt Smith's Doctor. So Karen Gilliam is a Doctor Who alum. So there
Nice.
you go.
Bravo.
So there's your Doctor Who kind of little thing for you there, Justin.
There it is. Okay.
Boom.
Now I know. And if anybody ever asks me any Doctor Who's question, I can answer every single one of them now.
No, you can't.
Okay.
False.
And I am not caught up. Okay.
Episode 1, Glorious Purpose. As I was doing these researches for these, I saw that for every episode, Disney made these little promotional posters that I didn't see that had like a quote from the show, which I thought was neat. So the quote from Glorious Purpose that they have was, "There's a fork in every road, yet the wrong path is always taken."
There it is. Bravo.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Glorious Purpose, episode 1.
Or as I like to call part 1, retrospection. Because this is a total... Do you not remember Thor? Do you not remember Thor 2? Do you not remember the Avengers, or have you not watched those yet? Do you want to just jump in and watch Loki? Well, here, watch episode 1. We'll catch you up. To the point where you're being caught up with Loki. Because he has no idea all this other shit that comes after.
And it's fitting that you call it that because even the director, wonderful Kate Herron, the director of this, it's Herron or Heron, I was just Kate Herron, she said that the first episode was really more of a prologue and that the next episode is really chapter 1. So it's kind of, it's
Right.
interesting that you would say it as like a retrospective. So I think it's supposed to feel like that. So it's cool.
Yeah. And they did it quite well when it comes to pulling you into the mystery that he is uncovering when it comes to the TVA. When it comes to the style of the TVA, I loved that 1960s, everything's brown and orange. You're expecting to see like an avocado green refrigerator in the corner somewhere. it was very retro looking, and I enjoyed that down to like the telephones. There's like a telephone
the telephones,
on
the monitors,
the side,
yeah, the old school just flipping like old school like train station, like where when they're going through things, it's just like the flipping, just felt very retro.
The DMV style lines. And you take a ticket and walk through it.
Take a ticket. No ticket. Do you have your ticket? No. Well,
I loved it when he says it's like, this is a mistake. I'm not even supposed to be here. And it's like, hi y'all. Right now you're probably thinking this is a mistake and I'm not even supposed to be here.
Good old Miss Minutes. We were
She was
introduced
great.
in episode 1 to the TVA, everyone, and we learned that they are apparently responsible for keeping a universal timeline in order, set forth by the timekeepers. Miss Minutes, who is voiced by Tara Strong, who,
Yes,
if you're listening to this, then you might already know who Tara Strong is, because she's a major hitter in the world as far as voice acting and all that. She's done the Powerpuff Girls. She was on Teen Titans. She's even done some voice stuff for video games. So she comes through with a little holographic thing that just kind of bounces in front of you and tells you has a wonderful accent and tells you a wonderful story about the whole timeline. And then we get to find out this whole thing about the timekeepers and this whole war, and it's just like, wow, this is neat.
Yes, I enjoyed her Mr. DNA feel, like from Jurassic Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. DNA.
The dinosaurs.
Yes. They got caught in the sap. So it just had that very
Try to find
Jurassic
the
Park feel.
hole to fill in the holes.
Yeah.
And we can actually make a living dinosaur. Yeah, you know what? I
Yep.
did not even piece that kind of thing together. I was like, yeah, that is Mr. DNA vibes. Good. Put another mark on the board for you, man. Another gold star for you, Justin. That's cool,
Thank
man.
you.
That's cool.
Yay.
We're introduced to characters. Already talked about Miss Minutes. We were introduced to Mobius, M. Mobius, played by the wonderful and funny Owen Wilson. It would take me a long time to run down his film credits. I feel like you should know who Owen Wilson is. Mr. Wow himself.
Wow.
Zoolander, Wedding Crashers, Life Aquatic, just to name a couple. And then we meet Judge Rovana Renslayer, who's played by, and here's another fun one, Gugu Mbatha-Raw. Mbatha-Raw. That is the young lady's wonderful name. So,
I'm glad you took that one.
another fun one, great one. We're introduced to Hunter B-15, played by the lovely Wunmi Musaku. So there we go.
Okay.
I was like, man, if we're gonna do anything, we're gonna try to nail these names, because we failed last episode. It's like we're gonna nail these names and these people, because yeah. And so basically, it's just a quick kind of thing for episode 1. We find out that Loki has been a bad boy, and he has stepped out of his timeline, and he has been caught and is going to get pruned. He's a variant of a Loki. And we've come to find out that there's a variant that has been attacking members of the TVA and killing them, and he needs to be stopped. And Mobius feels like this Loki can help.
Yes, and he gives him the opportunity to do so.
Indeed.
And which, at that point, we get a quick little look at a cloaked figure in 1858, I believe is where it was. Mm-hmm. And when they scanned the object from the 31st century, I went, aha, okay. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Because those who read comic books and know about 31st century know that a certain someone comes from said 31st century, which we'll also touch on.
Oh, it's good. We're getting there. We're getting there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Some cool things I just wanted to point out in the episode. Just the whole idea of the TVA and this whole war I thought was really neat. I have D.B. Cooper. Because that's a very cool thing where it turns out Loki was the urban myth D.B. Cooper.
Right.
I thought that was really neat. I thought that was a really cool shot. You get to see Hiddleston in Loki, but being, in a suit and just kind of doing his thing, and I have a bomb, just being kind of adorable and whatnot.
At that point, Loki had been introduced to his upcoming future. Realizing after, with the D.B. Cooper thing, he said, like, yeah, and that's not it. This is also what would happen had we not caught you. And had you not gone through that portal, you would have been arrested and caged in Asgard.
And I like, and he's just like, I don't believe it. Nah. No.
Pushes play.
No.
There you go.
And I think it was really neat to have him go back and watch what happens on his own. We get to see the master class of acting from Tom Hiddleston, where he can roll a tear without blinking, as some great actors can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he's watching that his mother did pass away, he's watching that, oh, he actually had a good relationship with his brother, and then
hearing Thor saying, it's like, I thought the world of you.
I thought the world of you.
Yeah. That right there just gave him that crying smile, the tear drops, and he's able to give that little bit of that giggle. And then that giggle then goes into, oh shit, when he watches what happens.
Real.
And I love that they stayed on his face when you hear the snap, because you don't cut away from someone like Tom Hiddleston when it comes to that type of acting.
Right.
You stay
Facts.
on him, and if you've
Facts.
already seen him get his neck snapped, and everybody else has already seen it, don't need to see it again. It's
right.
okay.
Go watch Infinity War again if you really need to see it.
Yeah, and it's not the point of that scene. The point of that scene is him realizing that I've just watched the end of my life.
Mm-hmm. And then, big point of the whole show, come to the end, Mobius kind of turns to him and is like, yeah, so you're going to help us out? Because we could really use your help. It's like, well, why me? It was like, well, because the variant that we're hunting is you.
It's you. Yep.
What? Pff, mind blown. Pew, 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 pew.
And credits roll.
Yeah, super. So that Glorious Purpose, episode 1 is off and running, and I'm invested. I'm invested from the gate. Just out the gate, just right, showing that where they picked up right when he bamps through. And I just love that he drops in, sees these people, and just goes right into Loki mode. He's like, hear me! He just goes right into, like, I want to rule mode. Like, just looks around and just... And I love the Iron Man vibes you give. Just that whole, like, waking up, you fell and waking up in the desert and just like, oh, okay. So I enjoyed episode 1, and that's all the notes I have for episode 1.
I enjoyed this episode very much. It made me, when I first started watching it, immediately go, yeah, I want to see more. Next episode, please.
Me too. Yeah, the credits rolled up, and I was just like, no, damn it.
Which is another thing that I want to mention is I like the fact that I'm excited for a certain day of the week again. It's been a long time since a show has made me go, oh, it's Friday, or oh, it's Wednesday. Because everything has gone the Netflix route, where it would get released, and you'd have to, the entire season released, or you could just wait and then you just watch all of them back to back after they've already been released. But when it comes to these Marvel movies or the Marvel shows and the Star Wars shows, you get to wake up in the morning or before you go to bed at night and go, ooh, it's going to be tomorrow when I wake up. I get to have my coffee and watch this, or tomorrow night I get to watch a new thing with dinner. And it's fun being able to be excited about a certain day of the week again, because I haven't felt that since early 20s, teenage years.
Nice.
Yeah.
More so to that point, it's a show that, like, and especially with my working schedule now, it's a show that, like, as soon as midnight hits, I want to watch it. Like, I don't want to wait till the next day. Like, it's like, what time is it? Midnight? Loki's on. Put it on.
Right.
So that's it's been a long time since that happened, because I didn't do that for WandaVision or Falcon Winter Soldier. I was just like, I'll catch it the next day and this, that, and the third. But Loki, it's like, is it midnight? Put it on.
When I was editing the last episode, I looked down and it said 11:57 on my computer, and I went, well, fine, all right, I'm already awake.
There you go. That's what's up.